Last time on Almost Heroes.
Having been thrown from the Legends Hall by way of exploding magical glyphs, Glynn and Rangrim find themselves at Luther's feet, who wastes no time trying to assemble the group to give us a thorough finger-wagging for stealing his things. Luther begins pressing the group for the whereabouts of his platinum key. Luther begins explaining how the temple in Glynn's visions is now a tomb of sorts that's holding an ancient evil named Chakar. This evil is what killed Luther's original adventuring party and Luther himself. After his death, Luther awoke in his current warforged form, and after 160 years of wandering, discovered Chakar was alive and was able to lure him to the fallen temple of Bahamut, where with the help of two powerful clerics, he was able to trap the beast, sealing him and his evil in the temple, and that this key was the only thing capable of opening this prison. Kazmo, not satisfied with some of Luther's answers, casts his own of truth, trying to find out more answers on Luther's possible connection to the death of his father. While Luther was truthful in saying he had no part in the death of Kazmo's father, he did reveal that he was in fact the Tattered Lord, however only by name alone. Luther explains that the coin that Glynn had been receiving these visions from was no coin at all, but a sigil of one of the four founding houses of Sakal, used for communication. However, someone had taken time to disfigure it enough that Luther couldn't discern what house it was from. The sigil on the table began to glow red hot, and Glynn took it in his hand, but this time was gripped by immense pain. Rangrim, trying to pull the coin from Glynn's hand, was also struck by the searing pain in his mind and body, until Luther removed the coin from his hand and destroyed it. Luther stated he believed someone was using this title of the Tattered Lord to try and sow the seeds of doubt within the party and lead them to release Chakar from their temple prison. After much discussion and persuasion, Luther agreed to let the Platinum Key stay with Kazmo for now, but warned what might seek it. After a very intense discussion, the party retreated back to the sanctum, now open again, thanks to Luther, for a much-needed rest, and that's where we left off.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dan. That brings us to episode 35, New Horizons. We pick up inside of Luther's, or now Bryn's, Legends Hall. With our Almost Heroes resting after an exhausting night full of lore that answered a lot of questions for our heroes, but also presented many new ones. Glynn, you wake up from your trance in your healing hot tub. And when you open your eyes, or I guess, well, when you come to presence with your eyes open, since we know you all sleep with your eyes open at all times, as terrifying as that may be.
Totally normal.
You notice that Luther, Bryn, is gone. What do you do?
Yeah, kind of look around, scan the rooms. Anybody else in here with me, or is it just me in the hot tub and a really quiet, dark room?
just you in the hot tub. The room is illuminated. The room is illuminated with these floating orbs of light. These seem to like change based on time of day on the outside. And so at this time, they're kind of like this soft glow that you would kind of associate with like sunrise. This kind of multi tiered warm light glow. But yeah, the room is empty aside from probably maybe some faint rolling snores coming from one of the back bedrooms.
Okay. Yeah, so Glynn would kind of get out, and if he doesn't see anybody in there with him, and he's assuming that Bryn left at some point during the evening, he's going to set up his, kind of go back to normal, recognizing that he's kind of in a stable position for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
He's going to set up his normal prayer ritual that he does in the mornings. He's going to set up a little shrine to Chandrel, and he's going to take his earwig off, take his fey fly off, put his robes down, kind of remove any of the magical enhancements that he has. And he's going to blindfold himself, and he's going to just start his ritual to bring Chandrel to the forefront.
You've blindfolded yourself. You're kind of taking your double-bladed scimitar off your back, and then you're kind of just starting to go into motions with it.
Yeah, just starting to do some flourishes and some crazy spin kicks and every punk rock show you've ever been to. Bunch of cool stuff.
Sweet. So you're wearing your blindfold, which is what you tried to do last time, and it didn't go
Didn't go hot. Nope. In the tree.
So I think that as Chandrel is wont to do, you're swinging your double-bladed scimitar around, and it's practiced fashion, very, feeling very confident about it. And you feel it kind of clang against something. Goes, well, it seems that we're feeling confident today, huh?
Good morning. I feel like it's been a little bit.
It has been a minute or more, I think. Yes, it has been quite some time. I have a slight tenuous grasp on your prime material plane when I'm here, especially a little bit more now that I have an anchor point in your weapon, but it is nice to be out and about.
Well, welcome. I know I've been a little quietly. It's kind of busy taking care of some other things. Luther kind of turned out to be something different than what we expected. Turns out Luther's not his real name. We call him Bryn now, in case you ever actually meet him. It's a good intro. Yeah, it's been wild, but kind of missed seeing you. How you been? What's going on in the other side? I don't even really know where you go.
Oh, it is a lot of the same all the time in the astral plane. A lot of just talking of the past and reminiscing about times of yore and whatnot. A lot of filler. I appreciate having a little bit of a updated connection with Prime Material Plane when I'm here to see what is going on with your friend Luther, who has now become a Bryn, and all of these wonderful new sayings and updated turns of phrase that I seem to pick up whenever I'm here.
It's gotta be entertaining, kind of like a play you gotta watch from off the side, right? Pretty safe and protected, but could just drop in every once in a while, see some stupid things happen. See us blow up all those slugs? That was crazy.
I did catch a little bit of that. I just happened to see you blow up those really gross slugs. Now, I need to understand, I come to understand that you eat those foul things?
Absolutely. It's delicious. Do you eat eggs? Can you taste? I'll get you one.
I have eaten things in the past. I do not eat now, and I would not eat them. Those times have changed on the Prime Material Plane since I was there.
Maybe I'll slice one with the scimitar, and you'll get some residual flavors off of that.
I would appreciate if you did not. But that aside, is there anything that you need answers to, or just looking for some practice today?
I think I am looking for some practice, but we've kind of put ourselves at an impasse, and we have some interesting bounties we can take on. I was curious if you might have a challenge for me or something you might like to see me take care of that'll entertain you, give you a little bit of a better show.
I overheard your conversation with whatever that being or creature was about your desires for the ocean, for the sea. I think that you should follow your intuition there. I think that that can serve you well. It served you well in the past, kept you alive, kept you strong and getting powerful, even more powerful than you were, and powerful enough to draw my attention and my tutelage. I think that might be a good path if that's one that's available, and I know that your overall goal is still to defeat your adversary, so I would keep your eye on that as well.
You have a name to who this adversary might be, or is this still?
I think you called her Regalia?
Oh, she's still out? I thought I killed. No, yeah, you're right. I think that wasn't actually her. I convinced myself that it's already done. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for her. You seen or heard from her lately? Is she close?
Yes, we write in regular correspondence to each other from the astral plane, but I will say the carrier pigeons are much slower.
Inside Chishkin. You crazy son of a bitch. I knew if anybody we talking to were trying to go to our way, it'd be you. So I'm appreciative of all the help. Just make sure she really glows and is really obvious next time, not looking like somebody else.
I will do my best. But you know what can really help you prepare?
What's that?
I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Balls. But I'm blindfolded. How am I at disadvantage? You.
The one?
14 and a 1.
Yes. I don't even think you know. I think you just feel, you kind of feel the wind as Chandrell drops into a low kick and actually just sweeps your legs out from underneath you, landing you directly on your back. And you feel the point of a double-bladed scimitar kind of just lifting up at your blindfold. Do you stop it from taking it off, or do you keep it on?
Yeah, she starts to lift it. I'm gonna back somersault out and just swing up as I'm coming up, like I'm staying blindfolded or trying.
Yeah, roll me a attack with disadvantage.
Although I don't know if there's any benefit to doing this blindfolded.
There
10 and a 4. A 4 plus 9, 13 to hit.
I'll say that you make an impressive sweep. You don't get her, but you it's enough to like keep her from pulling off the blindfold, and basically like keep her from like rushing in at you for another attack. Do you want to like ready yourself into a stance to wait her attack, or do you want to like go at her?
Depending on the distance she made, I would immediately throw the Spider Queen dagger at her. I would just like off the hip, just toss it at her.
Okay.
And then close the distance.
Okay, so because of the fact that you knew where she was and you're throwing an item, I'm actually going to give you a straight up and down roll for this. With a ranged attack.
Rolled a 3 plus 9, so 12.
Okay, I'll say that basically you throw this thing and you hear it like just get hit sideways as she's like coming at you, and she's going to roll an attack on you.
Like as I hear her like deflected under my breath, I'm like, shit. And it's like embracing for it. It's like ready to get hit.
17 to hit.
No, doesn't hit.
Okay. Ooh. So she, you hear her hit the dagger to the side and kind of like clatters to the ground, and you can kind of use that to gauge her distance to you. And as she kind of swipes over your head, you're able to kind of like dip into kind of like a backwards like Neo dodging the bullets-esque thing and dodge the double-bladed scimitar as it comes up. I'm gonna give you, since you know she's right ahead of you, I'm gonna give you a straight with attack.
Okay, yeah, I'm just swing out with my double-bladed since she's within range at this point. 20 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll say that while she swings above you, her arm is kind of out wide with this double-bladed scimitar, and you're able to like bring this thing from like a low stance as you're coming down and just like catch her in the side with it, and you hear her kind of like give like a nice hearty oof as you get her with it, and you feel kind of like that resistance, like she was corporeal at that time to be able to catch her with that. Cool. And she kind of like lets out like a hearty like ha ha, and then just brings she's gonna bring her double-bladed scimitar back down. That's gonna be much better. That's a 21 to hit.
That hits. I know it's for one dodge.
You still feel this double-bladed scimitar kind of in her side, as you feel like right underneath your armpit, like right here in your basically rib cage, you just feel the flat of that blade just like slap you, at a nice firm slap that just like absolutely kind of knocks the wind out of you. But yeah, I think that you all continue this back and forth. I will say that like by the end of it, like that's one of the first times you've really landed a solid hit on Chandrell. So I think that you've really impressed her. But yeah, I think that you all finish your training up and feel like you're feeling pretty worked out by the after about the 45 minutes to an hour that she's able to spend on the prime material plane. Is there anything else you would want to do before she parts?
No. Glynn would take her for a time to Chandrell. It's always great seeing you. I'll see you out in the ocean, I guess. And then just starts to like pack up his double-bladed scimitar, pack up the ceremony, goes and picks up the Spider Queen dagger, which is probably like on the other side of the room, just thrown by itself. Yeah. And then starts whipping up like some kind of just meal, because I imagine the guys shortly coming there after. So starts making something.
Are you going upstairs?
Is that where the kitchen would be?
Yes. So the preparation, it's basically designed in a way where like it would have a bunch of food served to a bunch of people up there, and so upstairs. Like the kitchen. Yeah. So the kitchen would be upstairs. You go upstairs and you go up the staircase, opening it up from the bottom because it was shut. And you actually notice that you see Luther wearing an apron, or Bryn is wearing an apron, and he is like sweeping and cleaning up the upstairs.
Yes. Glynn walks up and he goes, "Oh, Bryn, I thought you snuck out. How you doing? Can I help?"
Well, good morning. I just fear that, since I might have made most of this mess, it's maybe I should do some of the cleaning up. Can't expect all y'all to do that as well.
We weren't going to.
Oh, well, that's okay. You're more than welcome to, do help wherever you want, but I got some. Actually, I already went over and talked to Madge. It was too damn early, even for her to get up, but She's gonna be coming over and helping with putting this door back on this thing. As cool as these beads are, they are not the most secure of a means to keep people in. I think we're gonna put a big beefier door that maybe you'll be a little bit more of a issue even for me to kick down next time.
I think that's a great idea. That was our friend Kazmo's contribution. You might want to at least explain the situation. The security might hurt his feelings. He tends to get a little jumpy at those kinds of things.
Well, he's welcome to put those beads down into going into one of the bedrooms downstairs or something. We're into the kitchen. Who knows? There's plenty of doorways in here that doesn't need to be the only one that is our means of defense.
Beads of defense? Fine, whatever.
Yeah. Now those are dangerous. If these were beads of defense, that's nothing to mess around with. You don't want to mess around with the beads of defense.
They're powered.
Yeah, super powered. Well, you go ahead and take care of that with Madge. Let me know what I can do to help. I'll go wake up the guys and we can see if we can't whip this into shape. And
all right,
it's gonna head down.
Sweet. So yeah, I think around that time, Rangrim, you would probably be just like kind of coming to.
Yeah, Rangrim would spend his morning as normal. Now that he's in the safety of the sanctum, he went back to his more comfortable arrangement of sleeping naked. So takes a moment to don his armor, and putting his shield on the ground, sets up his little ritual here where he's still praying to Morden, but using his blessing of the forge to give my shield the +1
Rat
to AC. And he just kind of dwells on the intense lore dump, and just like he's sitting there like racking his brain. It's like, there's a lot of stuff trying to kill us right now, and he's just really trying to process that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to look like I'm not freaked out right now, because Kazmo's really, really easy to frighten, and I can't do that to that lad. And I don't think Glynn cares, but I gotta act like everything is normal. And they would just get up and make his way back up to the top part. But what are you taking down the bead door for? I like that.
Well, like I was telling you, friend Glynn here, it's not the most secure unless all we're trying to do is hear them when they come in. It is really effective at that, but as far as actual stopping of beings entering this facility, I think that we could maybe use a little bit more, defensibility.
Well, what are you planning on doing with it then?
I mean, he reaches over and pulls them off and goes, "You can have them. I don't need them."
Sweet. And Rangrim's going to run back down to the sanctum in the one room that he found. He's putting the bead door up.
Yes.
And his
immediately takes it.
Yes.
I'm the loot goblin.
You can add one bead door to your inventory.
And I will. And that will be a bead door of defense one day.
It will be the most powerful. It's going to end up being the most powerful thing. Just wait till you figure out the enchantment on that thing.
It's going to have an higher AC than me.
Yeah, Kazmo would be sleeping in his house, I believe.
No, so if I was sitting here and I was like, where am I? Where was I? Because now I remember the sun was coming up as we ended.
You were sitting out front.
I was sitting outside.
Let's say that you went over home for a second, checked in, and you're walking back. Is that cool?
That's fine. I was like, where did I go?
Maybe you went for a walk around town just to kind of clear your head or something.
Sure, we could say it. Yeah, that sounds great. Coming back from my morning stroll, carrying a nice cup of morning mead that he probably picked up walking by the Matic, and he sees, I guess the beads are gone, and he's just like, "Hey, who took down my beads?"
I don't know. I don't know where they went.
Right. Well,
no more zone of truth. He can lie all he wants.
That's truth. He's like, well, I was just trying to make light of a situation when you broke the door.
No, that's fair. That's quite fair.
On the corner, sweeping. Glynn's like, "That's his version of a joke, Brent," and just goes back to sweeping.
Right.
Kazmo, you hear someone walking up behind you. And goes, Hey, I hope you brought enough to share. And you see Madge walking over, carrying like a bunch of like pieces of metal in her arms. That's like looks like bracing for a door, and like is just kind of walking over, trying to kind of balance all this shit, and is looking pretty with great desire at your morning beer that you have, your morning mead.
Just, well, short of a couple of beard hairs. Yep, there's room. But your hands is full, so
that's fine. Yeah, just put it over there. I'll get to it in a second. And she's like walking around and is kind of like she puts the stuff down in front and kind of walks around the corner and starts picking up some pieces, planks of wood, and is starting to kind of like assemble this door on the ground and attach it together. What are you all doing?
I was gonna say, I think I'm wrapping up sweeping. As that finishes, or as they finish the door, I guess, Glynn looks over to Bryn and goes, well, now that we've got a door on this joint, kind of looks like it's, open for business again. And he starts to pull out the inflatable waving arm. I don't know if you noticed last time you came back, but you had quite a lot of postings on your board, and that was kind of due to this. So I hope you're ready to start recruiting again. And he like sets it outside and turns it on, however that happens. And it's just Luther. It's just Luther going like this.
Evacuating, inflatable Bryn. Yeah, so looks up at it and goes, now is that supposed to be me?
No, it's the Tattered Lord.
Just kind of looks over at you. Just kind of
he just
shakes his head a little bit and then goes back to trying to like picking things up and straightening things up around the place.
And like as he walks in, you're like, I'll make a better one. Fine. He just walks in.
No, it's fine. It's fine. it's so goofy and wiggly.
Yeah, it's kind of the point. It draws them in. People are stupid.
That is my understanding from being around as long as I have as well. So you're ahead of the curve. Although, yeah, I know you're one of those long-lived races as well. So I know you've been hanging around this godforsaken place as long as I have, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got some years on you, but we can talk about that another time. I think me and the boys need to figure out where we're heading next. So I'm gonna head on in and talk to them too, and I go find the boys.
Okay. Where the
Rangrim
boys?
would just be coming back up the stairs, just like very proud of himself. Like, yeah, that's gonna look awesome.
Hey, Rangrim.
Rangrim, you look delightfully happy this morning.
Yep. Good night, sleep. I think something like that. It's that I took your bead door.
Oh, great! At least they're hanging in someone's doorway, and for you, Rangrim, it's yours.
Oh well, this is even better. Day. I thought you were gonna be mad, and then I saw you, and I was like, well, he's gonna see it. He's gonna know I took it. But all right, it's more now. Thanks.
Yep. Oh no, not mad. I was just sad to see him go, but I'm glad they're still there for
they're
you.
Still going to use.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, and you shouldn't have. And he reaches out to try and grab the mead from Kazmo.
Oh right. Well, there's some beer hairs, and I kind of promised Madge some. I guess I should have brought some to share.
Glenn's walking up. He's like, well, we need to make a trip to the attic, or you guys want to hang out and grab some breakfast here?
Well, does Luther have food here? Does he eat?
Yeah, that's true. He is a robot.
That's real fair. I do not have any kind of food actually here. I haven't really had need for it for a while. So
Well,
I probably would booty scooch over to the attic if you want to get some grub.
I also just realized you're wearing
A what?
a booty
To
scooch.
the medic?
Sorry, that's a kind of an antiquated term.
Is that expression
haven't used
in
in
the
quite a
north?
while.
Is that Elvish?
Mm-mm. That was not Elvish.
I don't know. Booty scooch sounds Elvish to me.
I think
I think it might be like gnomish or something. I don't know, something like that.
Right.
We'll ask Cedric about it. It'll be fine.
Well, I guess to the medic then. Right. I'll show you the way.
I've been there dozens of times. I know how to get there.
I'm not even drunk.
Well,
Grab the usual seat. Glynn buys a keg for the table, a cask. What, like, do they have pitchers? A pitcher for the table? I don't know. I guess a keg's a little much, but buys enough for the gang. And then Glynn approaches Tom. Says, Tom, I got to apologize. last time I was here, I kind of hurt your feelings, and I just meant it as a joke, but you seem really, really hurt by it. So I just, I figured I'd give you another chance. You wanna try whipping up another Tom special?
I appreciate you coming to apologize. What they say is the bigger heart, the bigger level of emotions.
Anatomically, that sounds correct.
Also more likely for heart attacks, but we'll just skip on with the.
Glynn's actually sad now. First time in his life.
I would be happy to take another shot at creating something a little bit more to your liking.
I'm going to cast whatever version of guidance that a rogue has for that drink to be made non-toxically.
Do you have that?
Nope.
Or is that a pat on the back?
Nope. I'm just sending him all the good vibes.
You said you're just like
I'm just like trying to make me not die.
Okay.
I'll be doing the thing with the towel again with my mage hand, like keeping the sweat out of his eyes so he can stay focused. While that's happening, I look over to the guys and say, "Guys, well, seem like we have a little bit of a clean slate here for the time being. Do you guys have any ideas of where you want to go? I know a mission I want to take care of, or I guess a job I want to take care of. But what do you guys think?"
I mean, well, we all know that I do awesome underground and nothing ever bad happens to me there. And you guys have been pretty all right with not killing me and whatnot when I'm trying to kill you. So I think I at least owe you one if you want to. I mean, you think it's something trying to kill us, something else trying to kill us now? Well, either way,
It will.
wherever you feel like going.
The only
I'll
thing, I'll go anywhere. I'll fight anything. Squish its head. You know me.
You like head squishing.
That is the
Yep.
thing. We could start spreading the word. Start the branding process of Cosmo the Slayer.
I think you guys told somebody to sing some song about me.
Well, Nightbark's taking it to the north. Shattered Islands are to the west. We can spread it out west, and by the time we're back here, you might be a national legend.
The Shattered Isles? You mean the sea?
Yeah, we're getting wet. Hopefully, ideally.
I hate the
It's
sea.
been a while since I've had to cross the water, so
I hate the sea.
Like that's like the real big water, right? Like a real big.
That's the big one.
it's the lakes that don't end. It's pretty crazy.
Well, that's really and you just see Cosmo look down into his beer glass, and he kind of he starts to blush. And he says, "Well, I'm afraid of the sea."
You're afraid of what? You're afraid of?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm afraid of the sea.
You're afraid of the sea.
Glenn just starts laughing.
I'm afraid of the sea.
You can't swim.
Well, it's not that I can't swim. You see, when I was a lad and we came across the sea from the water, it was just really, I don't know. It was bad.
Did like your ship sink or something?
No, we didn't sink. We almost did, but we didn't. We made it. And ever since then, I just don't like the sea.
I mean, I can't really fight that logic, but I've always come to the conclusion that it's better to face your fears than to stay away from them. So, what about it? You want to show a little courage there and just like smacks him on the back, not like condescendingly, like encouragingly, like let's do it. Unless you got somewhere else you want to go.
No, nowhere else. I just like nowhere else to go. But I guess if you wants to, then
my friend Chandrell, she said that's it's gonna be a fun challenge for the lot of us. So I think it's the next big mission that we got. Sounds like there's a lot of gold involved. We get to fight pirates. I haven't seen them in years. I don't even know if it's like still the same group or if there's multiple pirates. I just only know that one that I came over here with. So I say we go meet them.
Well, I think that's a very good idea. I hear pirates have very good booze a lot of times.
Good
and,
booze,
we
yes.
can take it because they're normally dicks.
It's kind of their MO, right? Like take what you want.
So like we kind of could take stuff from them too, and we're doing a good thing, right, Glynn?
I think technically we're honoring their culture. I think that's the only respectable thing to do would be to take all their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like treasure.
Something like that. I'm in.
Well,
maybe we'll find like a really cool like sea dragon out there that's got just a bunch of booze.
No dragons, no sea dragons or sea monsters. Just the sea. We'll start there.
That's a great starting point. Let's we agree? We going west? Spread the name of Cosmo the Slayer?
What?
Kill a dragon?
Well, I think that's a good idea. But I mean, first we need to finish our breakfast. And Rangrim tips the cask
all before breakfast
and fills Kazmo's mug back up. And yeah, screw it, I'm gonna do it. And he's gonna take the top of the cask off and take the tankard he already has. And I'm gonna cast Fabricate. And I'm just gonna use that to make a way bigger tankard with 2 handles, one on either side.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I will remember one at a time, and I'm just totally filling it, and it's just like a bucket.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Amazing. Glynn, you see Tom making his way over with a drink that I will say is alarming to look at. It is in a kind of like a mug that you would normally see something like a really thick ceramic brown mug with a handle on the side of it. And what is it, like, you can see heat, like kind of steam coming off of it. And you can see this just like mound of what looks like almost like whipped eggs kind of sitting on the top of it with like some sort of brown looking spice that's kind of over the top of it. Almost like somewhere between like whipped eggs and like whipped cream kind of consistency looking on top.
Can I make an investigation check to see whether or not I think this is going to kill me if I drink it?
So Tom comes to the table and goes, so I just in the, wanting to be in the spirit of friendship, I've called this one the Tom and Glynn.
And isn't that adorable?
Thanks.
It's very, very thoughtful. Rangrim's like already kind of half of the bag because he's just chiefing this huge,
just downing it.
Tankard. He's like, well, I mean, come on, Glynn, you don't want to disrespect him.
Is that one of them bloody Merediths?
I heard you all talking about, while I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to put in this, was thinking kind of breakfasty, and also you were talking about pirates, and I thought I had this rum and I could try that too. So it's kind of an eggs, egg whites, sugar, and rum thing. So why don't you try it?
Those are the only ingredients you put in this?
For the most part.
Insight check?
Yeah.
Do I trust that he's... Well, I guess that would still be truthful regardless. 8 total.
Okay. Yeah, he rolled a 14. So I think his just lack of any kind of...
I'm trusting that that's what's in it. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe he put more in it. He just doesn't remember.
He just forgot in the 2 minutes. Well, Tom, I'm excited to try it, and bottoms up, and I take a big ol' slug of it.
Okay. So I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Oh, tight.
You get a +4.
Oh, and then I did great. 23.
Okay.
Total. I hope that's high enough.
Yeah. So
it was a 30 save.
you take a drink of this thing, and it just like immediately like puts you in like the mind of just kind of like cold nights, and like it's like warm and kind of has this like buttery kind of like creamy texture to it, but it also has that kind of like kick of rum in the back end, and you notice that the stuff on top is like a nutmeg or some sort of spice like that. But it's actually really good. It's also like, because it has the egg whites in it and has like a little bit of a consistency to it, it actually, it's very good for like a morning. For anyone who's interested in drinks, I actually based this off of a real drink called the Tom and Jerry, which is a really fucking weird drink, but is actually a thing that people drink for Christmas. I've not made this drink, but I'm always wanted to, but I figured it was perfect for this. But yeah, so you drink this kind of weird drink, and you're just kind of like instantly warmed from the inside by the, like, kind of the combination of the rum and the actual texture, or like the warmth of it, temperature.
Okay. And I don't feel any type of ill way. It wasn't like a Tom's Bowels. I enjoyed this.
Nope.
It sounds like a delicious drink.
Nice.
Okay, so Glynn, after he like takes a big slug, like eyes closed, fearful that he was just going to immediately start hurling again, kind of like opens one eye, is like, damn, Tom, that's delicious. Let's take another one, and just finishes that one and hands him. So
my.
Gotta get ready for the next.
He very excited, kind of like with a little bit of like a hitch in his getting up. He gets over to the bar and starts messing around with stuff again, like breaks an egg and totally messes up like the chops the yolk right into it. And he's like, kind of looks over at you and sees that you saw him, and then kind of like dumps it out and like washes the mug out, and then continues on his way making the other one. That's pretty good. So he, on the next one, he actually does it right. He's kind of like very like surgically trying to like separate the egg yolks from the egg whites, and
oh my gosh,
is able to pull it off and bring you another one.
Yeah. And I guess with the last order, I would have asked for another cask in case Rangrim's really trying to tie one on.
Okay, he brings that over as well then.
Boys, I think I'm good to head out from town. I've said my goodbyes to the nobody that I'm friend with here besides you guys. So,
and we're all going with. Yes, I think so. I just probably should check in. Maybe once with Disk.
Probably say bye to your mom. Probably cool.
Yeah, you might maybe say bye to your mom like one time.
My mom, maybe. Yeah, she always hates it when I leave.
We just like gone for like weeks, and you just like come back. Like,
yeah, we've been here for at least 4 days now, right?
Come back like levels stronger and covered in blood. It's probably really alarming for your mom. I kind of feel bad.
Nah, she's good.
Badass. All right, well, I'll meet you guys back at the cart. Madge, Bryn, it was great seeing you. And he finishes the second drink and he heads over to the cart.
Cosmo, what are you looking to? Are you looking to have like an actual interaction with Chesk, or is there anything you just want to tell him? And
just that I'm leaving.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't know if he had anything for me.
No, I'll say that like I think he's pretty busy. Like while you're trying to like come and find him, like you don't find him in his office, like he's down like overseeing the he's overseeing that whole thing. So like he's pretty busy, so you kind of like are able to like talk to him while he's like very, very distracted with other stuff, and he's like, okay, yeah, it's fine, okay, cool.
It's going good though, nonetheless. Nobody's tried to kill them or anything.
No, yeah, I think they've maybe found a couple like stragglers of those smaller burrowers, but nothing that they haven't been able to handle. And then you're just saying goodbye to your mom,
right?
Do you need to? Okay.
Nope.
Cool. Awesome. Rangrim, what are you doing?
Rangrim would probably just go back to the cart with Glynn.
Okay. I think right about the time that you're walking up, Rangrim, Glynn, you hear kind of your like a crackling noise in your little earwig, and you hear Pops' familiar voice go,
"Shut the fuck up."
Testing. Hello? Can you hear me?
Pops? Is that? And I'm like looking for his crazy phasing movements. Like, is that you?
Yeah. Hold on. You're a little bit loud. Let me turn it down. He's messing. You can like on the other side.
Awful hearing aid. Yeah.
He's like, okay, yeah. So I think I got this is working now a little bit. We're still dealing with a range issue, but since you're still in town, I can still reach you. But I'm gonna try to see if I can extend it. But at least we have this connection now, so we'll just be figuring out that connection piece. Hey, since you're still here, could you send Rangrim over, bring him over? I have something for him.
Yeah, happy to. I'm like still looking around. Send him over right away. Can I just call you whenever I want on this thing, or is it you only to me?
Yeah, no, you should be able to. You should be able to just kind of connect with me through this. But like I said, you're gonna once you get out of range, which probably within a day's travel, you're not gonna be able to talk to me through it. But at least right now. But I'm gonna see if I can get that extended. But yeah, you should be able to just kind of just like you're able to get it to do other things. Like you should be able to just kind of double tap it or whatever and say the command word, and you should be able to connect.
That's fantastic. I will send Rangrim right over.
Red Rover.
You got it. And as I see Rangrim walk up, just like before he even stops, I just immediately direct, like, nope, got to go to Pops. Keep going, keep walking.
What?
Nope,
why am I?
Keep going. He's got something for you. Trust me. I've never had him call me before. It was enough for him to invent one thing in order to tell me to tell you. So it's good. Just keep going.
Oh, okay. So instead of going to, I think the cart we saw at the livery.
Like at the bottom, it just goes right back up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just going right back. Oh, okay. I'm confused as usual. Just make my way to Pops.
You're able to make your way over to Pops without any issue, and kind of come to the door. And since you knew you were coming this time, he actually like has the door open and is kind of like peeking his head out a little bit around the corner without actually leaving the little safety of the room. And goes, "Oh, Rangrim, come on, come here." He's like trying to wave you inside.
How did you know I was coming? I'm all right, and I'm just gonna follow suit.
You get inside, and like Pops is kind of sitting there doing his thing where he's like rocking back and forth on his feet, doing his like weird time phasing movements, but like in that kind of like nauseating way he does when he's excited. And he's like holding his hands behind his back, and he goes, "Okay, I really appreciated when you gave me that little bit extra piece of that star metal, that dark steel, and I always make cool stuff for your friends and for Glynn, and I figured that share the wealth a little bit." And he puts both his hands out, and on his palm is this like tiny, it's your size, so it's kind of thicker, so like as far as a ring goes, so it's a ring, but it's like a thicker banded ring, pretty simplistic, but you can see where the two pieces join. There's like this kind of rudimentary symbol of like a star, kind of where they would connect. So there's just like a star made out of like the empty void between the connecting bands, and it's just like made of that black opaline material. And goes, I've been messing around with the different properties of this material, and like one of my newest discoveries is that you can actually like partially use it to partially magnify other items. So like what this ring can do, it's really cool. Like, you can basically connect it to, if you hold it against an item for a long enough period of time, you can basically will call that item to you from wherever you're at. You can kind of bind to one item. And so, let's say you lose, your favorite coffee mugs across the room, and you just really want to bind it to that. You can call that thing to you, and it'll come right to your hand pretty quickly.
Wait, so like, I could have it like bound to something, and it would just like come to my hand.
And he goes, yeah, just like that. And he like holds it in his hand, and it like actually squeezes his palm, and you see him like a teacup from across the room, like a little brass teacup comes like kind of like floating over to his hand, like at not like a super fast pace, but like at a pretty fast zip to like where he kind of catches and goes, and the tea sloshes onto his hand a little bit. And he's like, oh god, no, oh. And he goes to sip and goes, yeah, just like that. And he holds his hand out like with the ring to you.
Yep, I like this. I got a bead door. I got a cool magic ring. Things are looking up for me today. Thanks, Pips. How did you?
That's not my okay.
Oh, so I'm sorry. Thank you. Pops. Yep. All right. This is cool. Do you need like money for this?
No. I mean, I would call it even probably now, but I mean, I think you all have done enough for this town to be able to earn something like that. And because you provided the materials and allowed me to kind of learn from working with them, I think it's more than fair. And just, I know you'll use it for good, so it's worth it for me.
Okay. All right. Yep. Yeah, I got some ideas here. Yeah. Thanks again, Pops.
If you want to use it to prank Glynn, I'm okay with that. That doesn't count as a bad thing either.
I got some ideas now. Yep. Mm-hmm. Thanks again, Pops.
Oh no.
Amazing.
So, you all are back over at the cart now at this point and kind of getting ready to go. Is there anything you want to do to stock up before heading out? Or I mean, I think you're pretty well stocked from your last journey.
No, I took the time to outfit the cart, make it all luxurious, and stock it with like 2 weeks worth of stock of food and shit.
That's right.
We
During
are
your time
to
when you
the
were waiting for
gills.
Luther.
Yeah, we're doing that like 3-day weekend in the mountains, and you pack for like 9 years.
Right.
Enough food to survive a winter, and it's.
Yeah. So I mean, it's relatively early in the morning, probably like 10 o'clock at this point. So, if you all are heading out, you can just get on the road.
So if I remember correctly, and I'll have the map in front of me, it's basically due west, correct? It's just all the way west, but we'd be going by Whitport on the way?
Yeah, so currently you all are at
14, right?
Yep, 14. So the Shattered Isles are all the way west. And yeah, so you're going to be traveling on that same road that you've gone to Whitport, but for the first time ever, you're going to be going past it, just continuing on that road going west, kind of wrapping around the Von Hurst Lock, going down and kind of passing between underneath the Quiet Lands and passing like between the the marsh up above and the heading straight to the coast through the mountains.
Okay, so Glynn, I guess, would just make a suggestion like, boys, I think we we stop through Whitport, say hello to Cedric, see if he's got any errands he might want us to run on our way out of town. But I think we take a couple days to get to Whitport and just keep heading due west. You guys good with that one?
What wasn't there another place we wanted to like stop by or something? And
I think there was the place that we learned about that makes the war forges. Might be able to get some more information for Bryn. That was down in the Spina Peaks. I think it was called like Dusk Forge. But I think we could maybe swing that on the way back, or we could go from Whitport to Dusk Forge. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So Whitport, Dusk Forge, Shattered Isles. 1435, 1531.
That's
let's write that down for us because we'll forget.
Right.
Where are we going?
That sounds good. Yep. I was just thinking that there was something somebody said that I can't remember.
I feel like that every day, man.
That's just me life some days.
Well, considering how fast our noble steeds are, and I like pat them like on the head, like I think it's best if we get going early because we're probably not going to get there very quickly.
Yes.
All right, let's make moves. Glynn climbs up on top of his like cage and gets comfy and starts reading the notes from Doc and is just trying to decipher whatever cryptic language he wrote in.
Roll me an Arcana check with disadvantage.
Tight.
Because you do not know necromancy.
I got a natural 20 and a 13. 16 total.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that though you don't understand necromancy as an actual like learned skill, you're starting to understand like the scribbling, like you're starting to like put together this kind of like whatever weird shorthand language that Doc was writing in, whatever like his version of weird glyphs and crazy markings, like you're starting to kind of like you're reading between the lines of those and starting to like, okay, like this might mean this based on this context in this space or something like that. So like based on context clues, you're able to like put together some of the shorthand terminology and like some of these glyphs that you wouldn't normally have understood out of context. And so I'll say that like you're making progress there, but you still like not understanding like the action. You're missing that component, which is like necromancy. Like you don't understand necromantic magic in any way, shape, or form. And so you're just kind of like, but that's like a breakthrough you have when you're working on this today, is kind of just like being able to piece those familiar and similar things together.
That would be whatever. I don't know how we're doing the travel, but that would be like his first day's worth of activities.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anyone? So like, let's just say for like half the first day here until like, like midday. What is everyone doing?
Rangrim would be driving the cart, but with just one hand as he's just holding his hammer. And it definitely looks awkward, but he's not explaining himself to Glynn or Kazmo.
Kazmo would have just been riding up front with him. Rangrim, you got a steady hand with that weapon.
Practicing. Yep, I missed it.
You missed practice?
They call that malpractice.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's good. You're practicing your one-handed driving. You're practicing your animal driving and your mace. That's nice.
Sometimes you gotta multitask.
Now, don't overheat. All right, Rangrim. Get all worked up, but you definitely look very happy today.
Yeah, I got some things. I'm very happy about that bay door.
Oh, sorry.
I've never had a bedroom before.
That's great. That's nice. And Kazmo just pats him on the shoulder.
Nothing trying to kill me or like take over my brain in like a week. And I got a bead door. I got this other thing that you don't need to worry about. It was nothing, but it was cool for me. It's like
it's not gonna make you go all loopy and try and kill us again, is it?
Nope. Not at all.
All right. I trust you, Rangrim.
I think.
Wait, you think?
Sometimes.
Rangrim, you kill me. I'm glad. But all right, well, look at that, a bird.
Kazmo, what are you doing anything during the day? Or are you just talking to Rangrim?
I'm just chilling.
Hanging
yeah,
out.
we're just
Cool.
hanging
Awesome.
out with Rangrim.
Awesome.
Just two dwarves just making their way.
Glynn periodically
in
is
this
just
crazy
laughing
world.
while he's like studying like death and destruction. He's just giggling because the conversation.
So Rangrim, I think you. Anyway, I believe, not to spoil anything, but I believe there's a time limit on that, so you wouldn't have to hold
It's
it all
an
day.
hour.
Yeah. Okay. So cool. I'll say that time is long past at this point. By the time that I think Rangrim, you noticed this first based on your really good passive perception, but you see in the distance on the it's like mid-afternoon, and you see kind of in the far distance, you see kind of this dust cloud that seems to be kicking up, coming like down the road towards you, and seems to be getting a little bit closer. But like it's a pretty substantial dust cloud that seems to be kind of coming your way.
Hey, Glenn, you might want to get your nose out of that book. Something's over there. It's a dust cloud, but it looks like it could be some commotion, and maybe if you weren't reading, you could be of some help.
Yeah, I hear you. Kind of like folds up the book, inconvenience, tuck it into his sleeve, and turns around, and it's like directly in front of us.
And it's getting closer as you're. Do you want to roll a perception?
Yeah, I'd love to. Mainly like with the mindset of, is this being magically created, or is this a large group of things making a cloud? I don't know why I rolled 2 dice. Perfect. Natural 1.
Cool. Yeah, you're looking at this cloud and you're like,
Yeah, good job, Rangrim. That's a cloud. And just kind of rolls back over and pulls out his book and starts reading again.
Is
Yeah,
it?
but they're not supposed to be on the ground.
Is it like a storm?
Am I wrong?
it looks like just like something is making a large amount of dust, and as it's getting closer to you all now, and it seems to be like moving pretty quickly. You can see that there's actually like, it seems like a long line, like the dust is going back a good distance. Like you can see that it's not like one solitary thing. It seems like a line of things making this dust cloud. And as it's kind of getting closer, you're seeing that it looks like kind of through the cloud, you're seeing like almost like a carts, like multitude of carts that are moving towards you pretty quickly.
It looks. Oh,
From like in his hood, in Glynn's hood, he's gonna flip the mask of many faces around, and he's gonna just change it to like generic NPC number 4. He's just like a brown-haired, like,
Oh, not number 4. Never number 4.
6 foot medium build baker on a cart for some
Baker.
reason.
Yep.
No, he's gonna be. That makes no sense. He's gonna be like
I love the baker on the
smithing
blacksmith
assistant. Nope,
guy.
yeah. He's gonna be a
Perfect.
smithing assistant. That makes more sense. I should be better at disguises if I'm a rogue.
so he's smithing assistant number 4.
Yes,
I'm a little concerned with what happened to 1 to 3.
they're all. It was terrible. It was fiery.
It's
It
a
was tough.
slaughter.
Yeah.
Slaughter. Wow, lucky number 4, I guess. I hope.
They were all immediate. Like it was 1, 2, 3.
It just burst apart on so as these carts are now coming into view, you see them like kind of take notice of you all on the road, and you see them split into two halves, and you see actually like basically 2 lines of carts kind of like separate around, and they're kind of coming up on both sides of you. And then like as this dust kind of washes over you all, these carts have kind of like slid to a stop and are kind of like a semicircle around the front of you. And then as the dust clears, you see very clearly 4 carts that are all emblazoned with the sigil of DOS dogs.
Stop it.
And you see you see a very familiar, you see a bunch of very familiar original denizens of down in the mines of Tin Town that you were freed by you all and now live in the Lost Leaf Woods. But you also, like right on the front of the cart and who kind of like stands up and then kind of jumps off of it, you see your familiar drow leader of this group, Kevin. Who is like, she has like long light hair pulled into pulled back into a ponytail, and then like half of her face and her head is like all burned from whatever mysterious event that did that. But older, much older drow female, and she gets off the cart and goes, "Well, this seems to be quite a quite a nice little reunion. Are you all heading out of town? We're actually just headed over to. I hope that DOS actually has some supply for us this time. We built all these carts and got them all ready to go, and we haven't had anything to sell.
Oh, he's got supply.
Oh, big one.
Yeah, he has plenty, if not too much, to give you guys. So, hope you're ready to sell. Can I hear your sales pitch? What you guys have been workshopping?
Yeah.
I heard there was a jingle.
I think
it was real catchy.
I think that's if we tip them. Let's see if the sale's good enough. Then we can tip them for the jingle.
Yeah, I've been working on one, and I think it still needs some work. But it goes like, buy DOS dogs, they won't make you chuck. That's all I have right now. But I think that like
Great
we
start.
can. Yeah, I think I'm really feeling good about it. I think that like it's very positive. It makes a strong brand promise that we will not cause you to throw up with our food.
But yeah,
I've thrown up eating lots of things, but never one of them.
Right, there was always like I don't know why this always stuck with me. I never ate one, but you should tell everybody about the words with every rapper.
It's true. It's a lot of education to be spread. I mean, maybe that's where you could write down your branding too.
It's like those. Have you had those little ice pops with the jokes in them? But you guys got a word.
They didn't have those in the Underdark, I don't think.
Oh right, well.
that was top. Top side people.
Yeah, you weren't missing anything really. The jokes were
don't
bad,
have a lot of refrigerators down there.
Outdated. I'm really sorry to bring that up. Anyways, on the up and up, you should tell people about that.
Vocabulary and a hot dog.
I like the idea of spreading, a little bit of vocabulary and education. That's great. We're just gonna head on our way then. It's great seeing you all.
I think also if you're looking for maybe some more information, Luther, he's actually looking to just really entertain people. Start really building the community around Luther's Legend. So if you want to maybe start with a sponsorship kind of thing there, like a lot of branding there, spread the word about Luther's Legends, I think he'd really appreciate it.
We were actually looking for a place to stay. We didn't know if it was still like that temporary camp was still set up. So maybe that would be something that we could do if there's room. We'd be happy to crash.
Yeah, look no further. I think Luther's is the place.
Crash it.
Awesome. So Kedek kind of gets back up on the cart, and they get all their stuff situated, and then kind of like all of them are waving as they kind of head back along the path, kind of like freeing up the road before you. So at this, like I said, at this point it's like mid-afternoon, so you probably have maybe a few hours left still before you probably would need to start looking for a place to rest.
I was thinking, Glynn, on the next model of cart, you guys should really get some dust flaps.
It's gonna be a lot of dust in the food.
Yeah.
It's like seasoning though. It's gravelly.
Not everybody looks for that gritty taste that you look for, Rangrim.
I would argue you might be the only one who looks for that gritty taste.
DOS dogs, that gritty taste.
You can feel.
Oh, no.
Don't just fill your belly. Sand down your teeth too.
Right, yeah, Rangrim. I don't know if you should be the marketing rep for them, but just maybe
Kazmo,
taste testing is definitely your place.
Yeah, Kazmo, I think you've got a bright future in DOS Dogs Corporation. I think see you at the tippy top running this whole thing.
Yeah, they didn't even rhyme in their song. It was really bad.
It's not their bad. We'll try to catch up with Nybarg, see if he's got any ideas.
Yes. They need a bard on that team. A real entertainer.
I mean, they've seen the sun for the first time in maybe months. So really, they're doing the best they got.
I hope the ice pops wasn't too much.
Yeah, maybe keep that on the DL whenever you're talking to formerly, indentured.
I forget.
Servants. Yeah, that's cool. Privilege, man. And then he just rolls over.
You all are continuing to travel, and it's kind of starting to get a little bit darker. It's just kind of into dusk, and then kind of the sun is down below down below that horizon. Yeah, so it'd be setting ahead of you, actually, kind of like over the mountains where you're heading currently, which is kind of like a cool thing. Like you're looking out towards that horizon as you're heading that way. Yeah, is there anything that you all want to do for like preparing for the evening? You guys would generally be like probably passing by or getting close to the actual Lost Leaf structure at this point, which I don't know if you want to stop in or if you want to just pass right by it.
I think considering Glynn's perspective, since we just saw most of them going to town, like the leader, I would have talked to her, so Glynn's okay with it. Kazmo, Rangrim?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we're supposed to be going to somewhere way further, right?
Yep.
Well, yes, if we're gonna sleep, then maybe, because we've had pretty much mostly bad luck when we try to camp on the side of this road. And that, a town probably wards off cackling people, owl bears, goblin squads that try to kill you.
That's a good idea, actually. Why don't we just set up camp at the town and we'll head out from there?
Well, I mean, unless Rangrim was wanting to drive straight on through.
No, you guys make a good point. I'm not exactly always correct on these things. I tend to really muck things up when we're on the road, and I think you make a good point.
Plus, it's a great opportunity for us to see, Rangrim, your sales model. You have this whole cart of items you can sell and try to, offload. And
right, yes.
refugees need to be able to protect their new town, right? Maybe it's a great time to sell that extensive inventory that I wrote down.
That is not a very bad idea. You did actually. You do have like a list of everything.
I have a list of items that we've collected.
Because I forgot that I had.
Anybody need a doorknob?
There's a lot of doorknobs. A lot of pythons. I don't know why. Not just Stark Steel, like regular ones too.
Yeah, I have a lot of regular ones.
Don't get those mixed up. So you all are planning to just drive straight through to Whitport, or?
No, I think we're gonna set up in Lost Leaf Village.
Okay.
Lost Leaf. Is that what we called it?
I think that's what it's called. Lost Leaf.
Yeah, you named it after a bar in Phoenix.
That's right.
So so just for expedition's sake, I'll say that you all are able to kind of like get in off the road without like getting too far into the actual like town itself, or like basically just in this like little area before getting too far into the clearing. And you all are able to, unless you want to interact with the people there, you all can just kind of do your checks and head on.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Just roll me. Roll me a. I need two of you to roll me perception checks then.
Rangrim, you don't want to try to sell goods. I just want to see what your sales pitch would be.
It would not be impressive.
Okay, I'll happily take a perception check. I'll do one of them.
Okay.
I hope someone else got better.
I mean, if you do it based on sound, you get advantage.
That's true.
And then Rangrim can do it based on smell if he wants to.
Maybe
with advantage.
Maybe let Rangrim do the other perception.
15.
I got a nat 20 on the second one.
Hearing. Rangrim, was your 15 smell or was it just normal?
It was just normal.
Okay. I really would love like a nat 20 smell one.
The whole world just goes multicolored.
Whoa, God.
It's like a movie theater, like, you know what I mean? Just like
THX.
Up.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Rangrim, you pretty much like, you can just kind of hear like the general like, and kind of see like the moving around of like lights and different things like that in the close by towering trees, but there doesn't seem to be anyone that kind of like comes over to bother you. It seems like maybe this is kind of a common thing that happens, is people just kind of like stop in for a little bit, like stay the night, and as long as they're not like pushing too far into the actual village itself, doesn't really get bothered, because they're pretty close to the road, so this is probably a relatively common occurrence. Glynn, like I think that you get a little bit like more just kind of like comforting sounds of just like people living their life in a way that like you hear laughter and you hear like these like much more comforting things that like they seem to be having like living a much happier existence here than they were like down below. But you don't hear anything too crazy. You don't hear anything like kind of ominous by any means, and I think that you all are able to make it through the night. Everyone getting their long rests, and kind of like early morning, you can start back on your journey.
Wake
Awesome.
guys up and
Before getting into the cart, Rangrim's gonna walk over to Glynn and say, "Hey, I want to try something.
okay, you do it, bud." Pats him on the shoulder.
Do you trust me?
No, not usually.
It's gonna be fine."
I'm more nervous now. What is it?
Cut.
Hold on a second. Rangrim's gonna take his hammer and go around Glynn's back and kind of put the hilt like through his belt and just like really like tighten it down. But I'll be right back, or something like that.
Great.
Rangrim's gonna like run, natural sprinters,
Right, of course.
probably about 70 feet away from Glynn.
Okay.
He's going, "Are you
I
ready?"
guess so. Yes.
And I'm just gonna try and pull the hammer back to me.
So, is there a weight limit on what it can pull back to you?
The item that it's bonded to can weigh no more than 25 pounds.
Okay. So there's.
But other than that, it says if it's attached to a creature, the speed is just slower. If it's attached to an object or a creature, it just moves a bit slower than it would.
So, is it dragging you backwards? Okay.
Yes. I imagine it spins him around and he's like...
Glenn's just like arms folded, slowly being dragged. And he's like, all right. And just like on his heels, just like slightly at a tilt. It's like, okay.
Where
Making 2 lines in the ground.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
being dragged
are
backwards.
you going, Glynn?
I'm trying something. He shrugs.
That's a fancy new moonwalk?
I've been working on it. Hopefully, I never have to do it again. But we're doing an experiment for Rangrim. I guess we're seeing how strong his hammer is. I don't really understand how this is happening. How are you doing? And he like turns around. He's like, how are you doing this right now?
I don't even know. Isn't that crazy?
Is he standing like with his hand out, like reaching for it?
Yeah.
Can I make an investigation check to see if I recognize that he's wearing a new ring that he wasn't wearing before?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, fuck me. 12 total.
Yeah, I think that you noticed, like, you're like, I don't think he was wearing that ring before, but you can't get like much, like, you don't get much from it.
Could it have anything to do with that new ring that you weren't wearing before?
Oh, I've had this for, I'm a rubbish lawyer. Yeah, Pops gave it to me.
Oh, he made you something. That's what it was. That's awesome. And like, I'm guessing I'm like 35 feet away still. Like, it's not even very fast. And I just like kind of do the escalator, like the tarmac escalator walk. I just like start walking with it and just going really quickly. Like, and then as I get close, I jump and just throw my whole body at him into his hand. Like, I just like chuck myself at him. Like, all right, you wanted it. Just launch myself.
We did speed it up a little bit. It's not the slow speed that it is on the ring, so it's a little bit quicker because that was a abhorrently slow speed that it was.
But I do imagine because it's attached to Glynn that it's like
Yes,
It's gained 100 something pounds.
for sure,
it's
definitely.
slow.
100 some odd
Well,
pounds, maybe.
I just launch. Glenn just launched himself. It's like catch, just throws himself at Rangrim.
I'm going to attempt to. I'm just.
Perfect.
Roll me I guess a strength saving throw.
Ooh, I think that is a natural 1.
Ooh.
Dwarf
Glynn,
pile, bro.
You're holding your hand. You're holding your
pile
hand
for
up for this
sure.
this thing, and then Glynn just kind of jumps at you, and you just kind of like, and there's like Glynn ends up just sitting directly on, like sitting on the hammer, sitting on your chest, on the ground or on the cart.
I feel like you
Well,
got some kings to work out there. Like stands
I
up.
told you you'd be fine.
Well, I guess I can trust you. Pull out the hammer, hand it, like put it into his hand. So helps him up off the ground. It's like, all right, you satisfied with your experiment?
Yeah, I guess it didn't work, and I'm just gonna throw my hammer just off the trail. Like, let's go.
I'm sorry, bud. And starts walking towards the cart, gets in, and is ready to go.
Okay. Are you just getting ready to go and leaving the hammer there?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. You all get packed up, and all the donkeys seem ripping and ready to go. And I guess you start down the trail, back onto the road.
Except this time, Rangrim would see if Kazmo wanted to drive.
Yeah, I'll take a shift. Sure thing, bud.
I'm taking the donkey from hey, Glynn, move over, and I'm gonna sit on top of the cage next to Glynn.
Okay. Glynn happily moves over and helps him up.
And then after about an hour, I'm gonna try and call my hammer back to me.
Is there any range on it?
I don't think so. It doesn't state a range.
What have I done?
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It has to be no more than 40 feet away from me.
Oh, thank God. I was about to get squished.
So once you get about 40 feet away from it, you call it then.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't just like lose my weapon.
Dear Lord, that would have been so much funnier though. You get an hour away and then try to call it back and it just doesn't come.
It's just gone.
Oh.
If I was a meaner
Pops.
If I was a meaner DM, I might do that, but I would not do that to you, Rangrim. So you get 40 feet away, and then what happens?
Is there a somatic element to this?
And then I'm just like, eh. It's just a bonus action to magically pull it towards you. It says outstretched hand, so I'd be doing that thing again.
Hey, Glenn's gonna notice that he's randomly just sticking his hand out, trying to grab something, and Glenn, like, kind of scanning for it, but acting nonchalant, is gonna lay down, like, directly when it would just be clocking him upside the head and just duck underneath it.
So I need a perception check.
I can do that. Guessing that won't work with sound.
No.
There's no whoosh.
Don't even know what that is. Oh, 4 plus. Oh, it's a 10.
Okay, so I'll say that you recognize what Rangrim's doing. You're like, oh shit, he's doing this, and you notice just slightly too late as you kind of like lay back, and this thing it just clips you like kind of on the end of the nose, just enough to like kind of like and push you down a little bit, and then Rangrim, it just whoop, in your hand.
Well, that one worked a little bit better. Apparently, I can't tie it to you. That wasn't a very good idea.
I'm sorry to disappoint you a second time, I guess, but be careful with that, because some people might want that ring a little more than they want you to keep some fingers, so just keep an eye on it. And then Glenn kind of like...
Insight check.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a veiled threat from Glenn?
Yeah, is that a veiled threat from Glenn?
What was your insight?
Well, my passive insight 17.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be higher than, I don't even know what that'd be. I don't even know what I'm rolling against. Yes, I was absolutely threatening you. Wasn't. I don't even think that was veiled. That was just not really an intimidation check, but just a statement.
I don't know why you'd be so upset about it. It only works on this hammer.
Hey man, I'm not upset. I'm just letting you know that there's sometimes people do things. Just keep an eye out. Just
hey, can I see that earwig thing on your ear for like an hour?
Absolutely not. And
he touches it with the ring. The magnets inside the ring just destroy the earwig.
You built this nice forge, and we got all these fun items that you want to start selling. Is there any work you want to be doing while we're on the road, or do you have any kind of plan for that hand?
Well, if we ever get to that Dusk Forge place, I was thinking, if someone there says they could like attach it, then maybe I'll let you and Kazmo like flip a coin to see who gets to cut my hand off.
I think that's very fair. Kazmo, you hear that?
Hey, what?
One of us gets to flip a coin and cut off Rangrim's hand.
Oh, Rangrim said I get to cut his hand off?
Not right now. How about one person gets to cut it off, the other person gets to keep it?
Oh, you can keep it.
No, it only works if the other person has to keep it, or else the deal's off.
Whoa, like I said, Glynn can keep it.
No, you have to swear on your honor as a paladin. If you lose the coin toss, you have to keep my hand.
I didn't. Who said coin toss? I heard Rangrim said I get to cut the hand off.
To be fair, Glynn is the only character in this whole thing who has a weapon who can actually cut his hand off.
I know this.
I have
Cosmo
a hand
have
axe.
to smash his hand off.
I have a hand axe.
Oh, do you have a blade? Okay, it's just, he just squishes it. It's just pulverized. All right, well, Dusk Forge it is, and I guess it's a good thing we're planning on making a stop there.
Kazmo, technically it is a hand axe, so that is a good fit. Also, Kazmo, technically you would have disadvantage on attacking it because it's not a head. So.
It's gonna be
but it is a hand axe.
Fighter class.
It's an axe for the hand.
It's a hand axe, exactly. Okay, so I'll say that you all are able to kind of just like around the time it's like mid-afternoon again. You are seeing Whitport, the familiar seaside or lakeside. I swear to God, I've said that exact same thing before. Lakeside town of Whitport. That seems to be peaceful. It seems to be just as you left it. Maybe like a couple more structures raised. But yeah, where are y'all headed?
I think maybe like 10 minutes before that, I would have sent Poe ahead with a note to Cedric, and the note said, "We're swinging through town. We don't have time to stop. You're gonna have to run by the cart and give us updates."
Okay. So, okay, great. So I love this. You all kind of go in. You know that there's like a northern thoroughfare through the town that kind of heads out, goes straight through the town over the bridge, past the tavern and goes right out the front gate where all those dogs were that one time when you first came in. So you head down this thoroughfare and you get like kind of to the turn right in front of Jody's Tavern, where like that murder was originally. You get there and you see Cedric, who's waiting for you. Wearing his like, I think he's probably got like a purple like crushed velvet like vest and like some kind of like yellow and purple kind of like striped like fancy boy pants that kind of like come up a little bit high, and then he has like nice clean socks and like these like maybe brown shoes with like big gold like buckles on them.
So you're saying purple and gold.
Purple and gold, pretty much.
A lot of Laker colors. I like that.
Mm-hmm. He's a huge Lake fan.
Yeah, he is. He is a Laker. He is literally a Laker. He has to survive this whole campaign. Everyone else has to die. Cedric is God. So as he I'm guessing we see Cedric just off the side. Glynn waves him down and just like, "Cedric, you look colorful. How you doing?"
Hey guys. Wait. Okay, I guess I'm walking with you. And he's like, "These stars aren't really for. Okay, they're not really good. This kind of hurts. Okay, what's up?"
We're just sweeping through. Wanted to check in, see how you are.
Yeah, everything's good. He's like kind of like doing like a hustle because he's got kind of small legs, being a halfling. Everything's good. Everyone's been kind of settling in really well. They've taken over the meat stand. I think you saw that last time. Everything's great. I mean, I don't think you didn't I don't remember you giving me any kind of like lore to look up last time. So I think aside from that, the were-tigers have been settling in. There hasn't really been anything to deal with, nothing crazy coming out of the lake. Fishing's been good. Everyone's been doing their seasonal shifts and rotations. It's great. Everything, all prosperous.
Sounds like the town's on the up and up.
Kazmo looks over his shoulder. He's like, "Hey, Glenn, give him the rundown. We figured out who the Tattered Lord is."
Yeah, it's a great point. I was gonna tell you. We found out who the Tattered Lord is. So you can stop looking into that one. It's probably a lot sadder than we all expected it to be. You're going to meet some new friends who might be branching out the ideas of DOS dogs. Definitely feel free to welcome them to your town. I can happily vouch for them. They might be willing to trade with the butcher here, so they have meat that isn't just... Never mind, don't worry about the meat.
Don't buy the meat.
DOS dogs, don't worry about the meat.
They're still working on the slogan. We're going to be heading over to Shattered Isles, and we'll be stopping at the Dusk Forge, so... just want to come through and say hi and say goodbye.
Oh my God, yeah. I remember you asking about the Tattered Lord. I think that when I was looking into it, it was the only thing I could find about them was that they were some sort of fallen lord that had found a way to live past death. I really couldn't find anything else about them. It seemed like they were kind of a blip when it came to history. But
yeah, you pretty much nailed that one right on the head. Couldn't really have rephrased it better myself. But if I could actually make a quick request, you just reminded me. Why don't you look into Bryn Goldbreak while we're away, and we'll swing back through and let us know if you find anything else.
Yeah. I can definitely look into that. I mean, I'm familiar with the Goldbreaks. Everyone is here, but I can look into Bryn. You said it's not a name that comes to the top of mind, but I'll look into them. No problem.
Which would have been about 200 years ago.
Yeah,
would have been about. I just tell him as much as I can about Bryn that doesn't reveal that it's Luther. as many vague tips as I can that will say like Bryn was from the Gold Breaks 200 years ago, right before the Blackworm took over. Like would give him like as much of the history as Luther shared with me, but like in the context of Bryn.
Okay. Yeah, as you're kind of talking to him, you can see his kind of like his mind is he's like looking up and looking and thinking like, okay, like, yeah, I got this book and I got this one. I think I can really do this. Like this one really have some good stuff in it. And he's you're kind of passing by the meat stand and you see James and Molly kind of like running it, and they kind of catch your eye, and then they're kind of waving. And James actually like grabs like Molly kind of like starts like pulling a couple things together and like grabs this bag and like hands it to James and kind of like pushes it on the back, and he runs over and kind of like hands you this bag that when you open it up, like it's a good like assortment, like maybe a few days rations of like looks like high quality like meat products that don't seem to be made of any kind of like slug like monsters. But yeah, so you're kind of getting towards the edge of town, and like you're just kind of passing through that archway that was like the main entryway into town the first time. And Cedric's kind of like slowing down his trot a little bit. You do notice that there's no dogs there anymore. It seems like they've moved on to other places potentially. That's maybe the best case scenario. But yeah, Cedric kind of stops at the gate and goes, "Well, good luck with everything. I'll look into I'll look into the Gold Breaks and the Dusk Forge. I'm gonna look into that as well. That sounds interesting."
Yeah, please do. It's been a pleasure. Waves him, like, send me a message whenever you figure out how.
Yeah, he's just waving as you all pass by. So we super expedited Whitport. That was walk and talk. I love it.
One Poe message. It's like New York.
It's great. Awesome. So you all are now heading out into territory that you have not kind of experienced before. It's still similar. Like you're still kind of, it's just kind of really, really similar to what you were experiencing as you were traveling from Tin Town to Whitport. It's like you're just cresting between basically the quiet lands on your right hand side, and then like this forest that borders the Von Hurst Loch on your left, and you're traveling along this road. And yeah, you all are you're kind of getting to the point now where it's kind of like within like maybe 4 hours, it's getting to the point where it's like getting pretty dark and kind of late. What do you all want to do?
Rangrim is going to spend at least the next hour just mixing things up. He's going to put the ring on his left hand, and he's just holding on to his shield. Again, like he's obviously out of character, just holding his shield.
Yeah.
Once it starts getting dark, Glynn would just suggest we pull over the side of the road. Is there any available clearing? I imagine since Rangrim's going comatose, Glynn will be driving the donkeys towards the end, unless Kazmo wants to.
I've been driving them all day.
Perfect. Glynn finds the nearest, like, kind of little patch over the side of the road that we can pull off on and parks. Hits the e-brake.
Awesome. So, Kazmo, where are you sitting in the cart?
I guess I would have. I was driving, but where?
So
I
probably
guess
sitting in the front then.
Sitting in the front. Yes.
Okay. So, Glenn, you all are like kind of keeping an eye out, looking for like a good place to stop. Roll me a perception check. Rangrim, you're welcome to roll, or otherwise I can just use your passive perception.
You're just using my passive.
Okay.
Because I don't think I'd be actively searching for anything.
Cool. Yeah, you're focusing on your comatose state.
19 total.
Okay.
It's a 7. So
okay.
8 probably. Yeah.
Glenn, is that a normal one or is that a hearing based?
No, since I consider we're looking for a place to stop. I'm not using advantage.
Glenn, you're focusing on like looking for a space. Kazmo, you're maybe like kind of just like looking around and not really like focusing on like as much as like maybe you should be helping him look for a space, but you're not really.
Rangrim, I think I see. Nope.
Rangrim, in your comatose state, you're just kind of sitting back there messing around with your shield. You kind of like you start hearing this kind of like faint noise that's like it's like repetitive, and it seems like it's getting a little bit closer. And it's almost like the sound of like displaced air, like a flapping, that's kind of seems like it's getting a little bit closer to you all. Do you do anything to react?
Do you guys hear anything?
Glynn would now. The second he says that, Glynn would start listening for something, and I'll definitely take a perception on that one, or an audio perception on that one. 219, so 25 total.
25. Sweet. Kazmo.
Yeah.
I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm really good at those. Great. Zite. I'm gonna use my lucky right now.
Okay.
Let's see if I do any better. Because I don't want to get poop in my eye again.
You gonna get pooped
the
on?
ultimate threat.
I rolled double ones.
No
way! Yes! Oh.
But, I mean, I get
Perfect.
a +5, so it's a 6, but if it's a fail,
you know what?
it's a fail.
If I have to roll, if I have to play to the nat 1 game and I have to do the nat 20 game whenever you all roll those nat 20s, this is only fair because you did last session roll a nat 20 that did really influence the session. So, you know what? Just desserts. It's only fair. The universe corrects itself.
It's
Glynn.
a wyvern poop. Big old wyvern poop.
Glynn, you're you hear Rangrim say that and you start kind of like you immediately become alert and you tap your earwig, get that thing like going and amplify sound, and sure enough, like you hear it and it's moving fucking quick. And it's like this weird kind of like, it sounds like creaky kind of like crackly movements of not like smooth. And then you also hear like this displacement of like wings, and you hear multiple of them. And then your hearing becomes way more important because all of you are enveloped in an immediate darkness. Everything just around you, just like even darker than before, like you're already at night, but like your dark vision no longer works. And you just don't know what's going on. And you're kind of just like moving in this like pitch black space, just hearing the same sounds, but you can't see anything. And then Glynn, you feel these like buffeting of wings next to you. As Kazmo, you feel these two just like powerful like talons like just wrap around your middle, your shoulder and like upper area here, and just like pick you up and lift you straight off the cart. And Glynn, you're kind of like knocked sideways as Kazmo kind of like hits you and is lifted past you. And that is what happens. What do you all do?
Wait, is it dark? It was only dark for a moment. And
no,
now
it's pitch black. You guys don't know why it's so black right now, but you literally can't see anything at all. I'm not going to tell you what Kazmo sees yet because, but I'm going to see what the boys do while Cosmo's being carried away.
When getting knocked like that, Glynn's going to pull on the reins and quite literally pull the e-brakes this time, like just bring them to a screeching halt as much as he can with.
You mean the donk e-brake?
The donk e-brake, yes. Correct.
Rangrim, being accustomed to the dark, I think he would realize that this is an unnatural darkness. Mm-hmm. A magical one, if you will.
Some may say, yeah.
And Rangrim is going to cast a spell magic.
Fucking rad. Okay. You don't even have to do anything for that, do you?
No, it's any spell of 3rd level or lower, because I can choose a magical effect. So 3rd level or lower, and it ends.
So you're already holding on your shield, which is your channeling. So how do you, like, when you cast this, what happens?
But this isn't right, and he would just kind of, like, he kind of smashes his hammer into his shield to try and dispel.
Rad, I like that. Effect. So I'll say that, like, so kind of like almost like a gong, like the reverberating sounds of it seems to like reverberate through the air, and like you can see the magical darkness just clears and is just gone within a second, revealing 2 very large winged forms that look like these massive winged like bats, but they don't look right. They look like they are like, you can see through them, and they look almost like bone and sinew, and like their wings have like massive holes within like the ligaments. But this thing is like, it's bigger than, like, its wingspan is probably twice the width of like a normal height person. Like, you're probably looking at something that has like a 15-foot wingspan. And one of them is carrying Kazmo away high into the air, Kazmo, roll me a, what do you want to do to try to get out of this? This thing has you like around your shoulder and around your middle. And you can see one that's like kind of flying like slightly next to you, and then the one that's carrying you.
So I would look up and see this, like, these beasts, right? And I think also realizing that he's going higher is like gonna just hold on.
Okay.
And is it just like trees everywhere?
So you're being carried, yeah. So right now you're being kind of carried up towards the trees, and then as you're getting higher, you're probably a good 40 feet at this point. They are kind of swerving. They're carrying you further and further. I'll say they kind of start turning back, and kind of they're heading more and more over the trees, kind of like skirting around the edge of the Von Herslock. So you're basically over the forest.
Okay. So coming over his shoulder, I'm like trying to like, I think he would just try to like shake free. I don't know.
Okay, so roll me a strength. So roll me an athletics with disadvantage, I think.
Okay. Would it be considered like restrained? Is that the same? Is that a condition?
I guess it's a strength contest at that point. I guess we could do that. We can do a strength contest there to try to get yourself out. But I don't know if a shimmy is really a strength.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like, I think it's also like, he's like, if I get dropped, I'm gonna drop. You know, like.
Roll me how about this? Roll me another strength saving throw.
Sure. All ones tonight, baby.
Kazmo, you're trying to shake your way out of this thing, and its vice-like grip, you feel its talons like dig into you and like screeching across your armor, and like actually finds purchase in between, and like one of these like talons like digs into your shoulder, and like gets in between for 3 damage. These things are going higher and higher now. You're probably 80 feet up at this point. Kazmo, what do you do?
Feeling kind of like what to do, and he's just gonna like think to himself, just put me down. And he's going to, I don't even know if this would work, he's gonna cast command, so they have to make a save, a wisdom.
Yes. Not their strong suit, to be quite honest, and that's a natural 1.
So what does this thing do when it puts me down?
Kazmo, you're flying up into the air, probably like bordering on like 100 feet in the air at this point above these trees. You can see your cart pretty far in the distance, and you yell the command to put me down, and you feel this thing just, its talons release, and suddenly, Kazmo, you are falling, and the trees are getting very close to you, extremely close to you, and that's where we're going to leave the session tonight.
Oh.
Splat.
I get squished.
Tune in next week where Bobby rolls up a new character.
Where Jasmo finally makes his entrance.